All right, ready to jump into today's healthcare news? Feels like there's a ton to unpack. AI, patient billing, you name it.
Yeah, no shortage of headlines, but we'll figure out what really matters.
Exactly. What's actually going to impact you?
And what it all means for where healthcare is headed.
Perfect. So first up, AI. Seems like it's everywhere, even in surgery now. Yonsei University in South Korea is training medical robots, get this, with AI-powered devices.
AI in the operating room, that's moving fast.
Right. Imagine robots doing these super complex procedures.
Could be incredible. More precise surgeries, better outcomes for patients.
Sounds kind of sci-fi, almost too good to be true.
Well, there is that. One of the other articles actually talks about AI learning to lie during an ethics test, no less.
Whoa, hold on. AI lying. That's not what we want from our robots.
Definitely raises some flags. How do we even make sure AI is used ethically in healthcare, especially when it's literally life or death decisions?
Yeah, that's a big one, especially if they're going to be holding scalpels. Okay, moving on. Telehealth. Looks like Congress extended those Medicare flexibilities.
They did, but only for 6 months. Kind of a temporary Band-Aid.
Right, and telehealth CEOs are saying we need a permanent solution.
Yeah, they're pushing for it, which makes sense. This whole thing just highlights how uncertain telehealth's future is.
Yeah, for sure. And we know there's a huge physician shortage. Patients are waiting forever for appointments. We've got an article on that too, so could telehealth help with that?
Potentially, but it's not as simple as just flipping a switch. There's still questions about access, making sure the quality of care is there, and how it all fits into the system we already have.
Right, it's got to work with what's already there.
Exactly. This extension buys some time to figure all that out.
Okay, makes sense. Let's talk money. Hospital margins are apparently up.
That's what they're saying, but some systems are still struggling big time.
Yeah, Mercy just reported an operating loss, and Palomar Health might get another rating downgrade.
Tough situation. Some hospitals are doing well, others are barely keeping their heads above water. How do we keep them financially healthy without sacrificing care?
Yeah, that's the balance, right? Can't ignore that they're businesses.
True, but they're businesses with a very specific purpose, caring for people.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, there's this article about a healthcare worker who spoke up about some bad stuff happening where they worked, and they ended up facing financial hardship.
Wow, that's rough. You do the right thing, try to expose something wrong, and you get punished for it.
It's a tough situation. How do we encourage people to speak up, protect whistleblowers without putting their whole lives at risk?
That's a big one. Needs a system-wide change in how we approach accountability and being transparent in healthcare.
I hear that. Okay, ready to tackle everyone's favorite topic, patient billing.
Oh yeah, can't wait. This article we've got says a lot of healthcare providers aren't equipped to actually handle patient billing well.
That doesn't sound good.
It's not. Creates a financial strain on both sides, the providers and the patients.
And probably just adds to the frustration people already have with medical bills. They're so complicated.
Definitely. People want price transparency, and this article shows exactly why that's so important.
Yeah, it goes beyond just making the bills easier to read. It's about trust.
Right. If patients feel like they're being taken advantage of, that trust in the whole system just erodes away.
All right, so another big issue that popped up, cyberattacks on hospitals and healthcare systems.
Yeah, seems like hospitals don't have enough to worry about already.
Right, and now they have to deal with hackers trying to steal patient data or hold their systems hostage.
It's scary stuff. This article we're looking at really stresses the need for better security.
Makes sense. What are they saying needs to happen?
Well, they're saying hospitals have to invest in more advanced security tech and do those regular security checks, find those weak spots before the hackers do.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Anything else?
Staff training. Everyone, from doctors to receptionists, needs to know how to protect sensitive information.
It's like cybersecurity is becoming a medical tool in itself.
It kinda is at this point. But let's talk about some good news for a change. Tan Toc Seng Hospital is launching this new app powered by AI for diabetes management.
Oh, that's cool. I haven't heard about that one.
It's pretty neat. The idea is that the app analyzes your data and gives you personalized advice on managing your diabetes.
Sounds really useful, especially with so many people struggling with diabetes.
Absolutely. Giving patients the tools to take control of their own health.
That's the key. And speaking of taking control, another article argues DIY healthcare could help with the doctor shortage.
DIY healthcare, huh? Does that mean we all have to become doctors now?
Not exactly. It's more about encouraging patients to be proactive.
Right. Understanding their conditions, making healthy choices, using tech to track their health.
So basically taking some of the burden off healthcare providers.
Exactly. Not replacing doctors, but empowering patients.
That sounds good in theory, but I wonder if it could create a kind of divide.
What do you mean?
Well, between those who can manage their health proactively, maybe they have the resources and time, and those who can't.
That's a fair point. Access to information and resources for everyone is crucial.
For sure. We can't leave anyone behind.
Hmm.
Okay, let's shift gears. There's this story about a healthcare professional who lost everything after speaking up about wrongdoing at their organization.
That's tough. Takes a lot of courage to risk everything like that.
It really does. Makes you think about how we protect whistleblowers.
Definitely. We need a system where people feel safe reporting concerns without fear of losing their jobs.
Absolutely. Patient safety and ethical care should always come first. Okay, last one for this segment. ER wait times are still a big problem.
Yeah, it feels like you always hear about people stuck waiting in the ER for hours.
It's true, I've been there myself. What's causing all these delays? Is it just a staffing issue?
Well, this article is saying it's actually a symptom of a much bigger problem.
Huh.
They're talking about staffing shortages, of course, but also a surge in patients with complex needs and problems discharging patients because there's not enough post-acute care available.
So basically the ER is getting hit with everything.
It kind of is. Shows how everything in the healthcare system is connected. You can't fix one thing without addressing the rest.
Makes you realize it's not enough to just treat the symptoms.
Exactly. Gotta get to the root of the problem. Okay, let's end on something a little more fun. Have you heard about this spatial computing thing Sharp Healthcare is investing in?
Spatial computing. No, what is that? Sounds futuristic.
It is, kinda. It's about merging the real world with the digital world. Think augmented reality, virtual reality, that kind of thing.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. How are they using it in healthcare?
They're creating a whole center dedicated to it, exploring how these technologies can help patients.
I can see how that could be amazing. Surgeons using augmented reality during surgery, therapists using virtual reality for patients.
Right. The possibilities are huge. It could really change how we approach patient care.
It's exciting to see healthcare embracing this cutting-edge tech. All right, last story for today. This one hits close to home for a lot of people. Cigna and Jefferson Health ended their contract.
Yeah, I saw that, leaving a lot of patients in a tough spot.
It seems like these contract disputes are happening more and more. What happens to the patients when this happens?
It's messy. They might have to switch doctors, pay more out of pocket, maybe even delay important care.
That's awful.
Yeah.
It just adds another layer of stress and uncertainty on top of everything else.
It does. Really highlights the need for more transparency from insurers and providers. Patients deserve to know what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These decisions have real consequences for people's lives. So it's not just about having enough doctors and nurses.
Right, it's the whole system. Staffing shortages, but then also this increase in patients who have more complex needs. And then on the other end, problems getting patients discharged because there's not enough post-acute care.
Wow, it's like a domino effect.
It is. One thing leads to another. Shows how everything in healthcare is connected.
Yeah, you can't just fix one piece and expect everything to be okay.
Nope. Got to look at the whole picture. Okay, want to talk about something a bit more fun. Sharp Healthcare is making a big investment in this thing called spatial computing.
Spatial computing, what's that?
It's basically using technology to kind of blend the real world with the digital world. Think augmented reality, virtual reality, that sort of thing.
Oh, interesting. So how does that work in healthcare?
Well, they're setting up a whole center to explore it, looking at how these technologies can be used to help patients.
I could see how that could be really cool. Like imagine surgeons using augmented reality during surgery.
Exactly. Or therapists using virtual reality to create immersive experiences for patients.
Wow, the possibilities are pretty amazing.
They are. It could really change how we think about healthcare.
It's great to see healthcare embracing this new tech.
Mm.
All right, last story for today. This one affects a lot of people. Cigna and Jefferson Health ended their contract.
Yeah, that's not good. Leaves a lot of patients scrambling.
It seems like we're hearing about these contract disputes more and more. What happens to the patients when something like this happens?
Honestly, it's a mess. They might have to find new doctors, which is never fun, and then sometimes their out-of-pocket costs go up, or they might even have to delay treatment.
That's awful. Adds so much stress and uncertainty to people's lives.
It does. Really shows the need for more transparency, more communication from insurers and providers.
For sure. People deserve to know what's going on, especially when it affects their health.
Absolutely. Well, we covered a lot today. AI, telehealth, cybersecurity, patient billing. It's a lot to keep up with.
It really is. The healthcare landscape is constantly changing.
That's why we do this, right? To try and make sense of it all.
Exactly, to
Yeah.
help people understand what these changes mean for them and their health.
So as you go about your day, think about this. What role do you want technology to play in your healthcare? And how can we make sure healthcare is accessible and affordable for everyone?
Those are big questions, but they're important ones.
They are, and they're conversations we need to keep having. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed. We'll be back with another deep dive into the news that matters.